Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Rockerbox TV. My name is Josh Cunningham. I'm the founder and CEO here at Rockerbox, and I'm joined today, as always, by our head coach and VP of Sales, Sam Monreal. Sam, how's it going?
It's going great, guys. Living the dream.
Glad to hear. And we've got a very special guest for you today, actually our ramp-up head coach, Donna Parrish. Donna, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us. And the purpose for today's hangout, for today's episode of Rockerbox TV, is to introduce you to your head coach here, Donna Parrish, but also to kind of take a little bit deeper dive into what is Ramp Up, what are the expectations, and what are the expected results of our Ramp Up program here. And, of course, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I want to kind of back up and tell you what is Ramp Up to begin with. So Ramp Up is our own internal coaching and accountability program for our clients here at Rockerbox, and the acronym Ramp Up stands for the Rockerbox Agent Mastery Program with Unlimited Potential. So to kind of get started here, Donna, why don't you give us a little bit of background on who you are and how you wound up filling this role for us here, and just give us a little brief overview.
Great. Well, just kind of a brief overview of my background in the industry. I got into real estate sales full-time, general brokerage, out of the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Spent about 5 years in Charlotte selling, living and breathing your reality as agents. And then I transitioned to Charleston, South Carolina, made a move here, and was working with a real estate developer as his director of marketing. So I've kind of been on the management side. I've been in full-time sales. And then soon after started working with Boomtown as a startup. There were 20 employees there at Boomtown, and came into the fold, was a part of their leadership team for the previous 5 years, and really have seen the product develop. So I was able to have the opportunity to work closely with Josh and Sam as we were structuring their strategic partnership with Boomtown. As you know, Rockerbox, we only service Boomtown customers. So there was a great alignment and opportunity there. The delivery of the service was, making sure that there was a missing piece in the process for Boomtown clients. So it was really delivering on something that I felt the Boomtown clientele needed. And when the opportunity to come in and help out with the Ramp Up program came up, it really was the right timing. I believe in what Rockerbox is delivering. So I'm just enjoying the opportunity to work closely with the Boomtown customers that are also with Rockerbox. So that's kind of a little bit about me and why I'm in the program now.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Thanks,
Yes,
Sam.
very much, very much.
So just kind of, today we're spending a little bit of time just doing a little bit of Q&A about what's included in the Ramp Up program. So I'll kind of let Josh and Sam drill me with some questions, and we'll cover everything that we think is going to be a value add for y'all today.
Sure. Why don't you tee her off with the first question, Sam?
Okay, so I think a lot of people still might be a little bit unclear with what Ramp Up is exactly. So, can you just do a little bit of a longer description of Ramp Up, and including the agent expectations that are part of the Ramp Up program?
Okay, so taking a quick step back to why we implemented the Ramp Up program to begin with, we really saw a disconnect between, being that we are actively representing ourselves as an assistant on your team, working with your leads coming off of your Boomtown website. We weren't actively engaging with the client agent teams. So this was a solution for us to make sure that we were monthly, sometimes more frequently than monthly, speaking with the agent teams to ensure that they had the success habits, the expectations, the processes, and tactics to deliver on converting the opportunities that we were transferring over. So truly the program is meant to be dedicated to setting your agents up for success. And we're spending time, first and foremost, as a brand new client, talking about expectations. So as we know, clearly defined expectations set you up for success. So as the team leader, I'm doing my part to come in early on, set a framework for the team, be very clear about the process that Rockerbox is delivering on, and then very clear about what's expected of the agent team. So everybody that's attending, it's going to be yourself and every single agent that's working the leads that are transferred over. And the expectations, they really include some very basic things, but it's amazing how often that will get missed when you're working leads from a lot of different sources. And we know with online lead generation, it's a very systematic, consistent approach and persistent as well. So the first thing that we really set out as an agent expectation, first and foremost, is delivery of the leads. So when the leads are transferred, we make sure that the agents have text alerts, email set up properly, that they're aware as soon as that lead comes over to pick the lead up and make a connection immediately or within as soon as possible. So we know that as agents out in the field, you're not sitting in front of a computer watching Lead Central as leads come in. We want the trigger to be on your phone. We want the mobile CRM saved to your home screen so you're able to work these leads, out in the field, out and about, on the road, in between showings or listing appointments. Then secondly, we want to make sure that you're logging all of the activity that's taking place in Boomtown. Third, we're making sure that you're properly categorizing so that you're as efficient as possible. That's your forecastable pipeline. If you use the categories right, we can actually predict where your sales will be coming from in the months ahead. And then really just the follow-up process, making sure that everyone is on board and committed to making those 10 calls or texts within 14 days. So that's quick, broad strokes expectation setting early on, and the ramp-up program is just an ongoing way to hold the team accountable to that and offer coaching advice along the way.
So the Boomtown platform is such a powerful CRM because everybody's pretty overwhelmed with the amount of leads that are coming into the system. So Donna, can you talk about why it's so important that all the activity does get logged in Boomtown, and again, why it's important that we have this monthly meeting with the team to inspect what we expect?
Absolutely. So you're operating as a team. It's really, it's a trend in the industry. We're not all just out there doing our thing, general brokerage, on our own, one agent wearing 20 different hats. You need transparency. You need a way to communicate. You have a lending partner on the Boomtown system with you that's contributing and that's following up with these leads as well. There needs to be a way to see what communication has taken place. There needs to be ways to pick up and put down a lead so that there's a seamless customer service experience for that lead at the time. So the only way to do that is to utilize the tools that you're investing in. And the agents need to be aware of this large investment that's taken place in both Boomtown and Rockerbox and what is available to them if they're utilizing Boomtown to its fullest potential. The technology is smart. It automates so much if you're utilizing to-dos and campaigns and e-alerts and the logging of communication history, texting. I mean, it's endless how efficient your business really truly can become. And pipeline management it's something you have to dedicate time-blocked hours to within the week. And the more efficient you get with that, the better you'll be at maintaining your business. So really, as a team leader, you can't expect what you don't inspect. So setting up expectations for logging activity in Boomtown so that transparency, you can actually go in, see what the agents are doing, write notes, transfer leads, take them out of rotation, put them back in rotation, hold them accountable based on what's being logged in Boomtown. If they're not logging what's happening, you have no way to hold them accountable to anything. So really, true leadership is being accountable to them, that you're going to hold them to what you expect.
Yep. What is it that you always say, Sam, if it's not in Boomtown?
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
I mean, and the reason I say that is because, having come from the world, previous to real estate, of working for Fortune 500 companies and running big sales or running sales teams and managing sales teams in the technology world, I mean, every single activity those salespeople do is expected to be logged in the system, and we feel like very strongly at Rockerbox there should be no difference there. You know, that's one of the great things about the Rockerbox solution is every single activity that we perform is logged within the system so that our clients have full transparency, and we want that same thing to extend to the agent team as well. So, Donna, that was awesome. I really appreciate you sharing all that information. So, you know, give me an idea of, you know, some examples of some agents where, you know, perhaps it's really clicked in doing these ramp-up sessions and they've been able to kind of understand more fully. You know, I always describe the combination of Boomtown and Rockerbox as Boomtown sort of does the first third. It attracts and captures the traffic. You know, Rockerbox does the middle third and, you know, filters out the tire kickers and the noise and identifies opportunities. And then the agents do the final third, which is converting the lead into, you know, a client and a closed deal. So, you know, one of the things that the whole goal of the ramp-up program is to really make that connection happen. So describe some success stories that you've seen of folks who really kind of through the ramp-up program, it's really helped them take their real estate game to the next level.
Really, one that I love, and I think Leslie's been on a previous TV show with us, Leslie Thomas of the Professionals OKC out of Oklahoma. She came in, very small team, literally was ramping up a brand new agent with Jacqueline Posey, and Jacqueline was just overwhelmed. Her pipeline as a new agent, I mean, it's what we all dream of in this business, to be able to start out of the gate so fast. But the pipeline built up very quickly. And initially, Leslie, as the team leader, you know, the owner of all of this, was saying, okay, I'm going to follow up with the leads myself. I'm going to make sure that initially I know what it takes to manage them. And very quickly, she became overwhelmed. So we had a couple of months there on ramp-up sessions where the pipeline didn't look too great. It wasn't clicking yet. It was like we started out really good, and you know we definitely have great lead volume, but we're trying to figure out how to organize our pipeline and the dashboard effectively so that you know we can forecast what's coming. Then a couple months back, really, I think for Jacqueline, it was just a matter of saying, okay, I'm going to take ownership of this and really dig in and spend some hours just catching up and cleaning up. And Leslie went ahead and had all of the leads transferred over to Jacqueline so that new leads were coming in to her primary buyer's agent. Sort of got out of the way, if you will. She was no longer a bottleneck. And what we've noticed literally in June, they closed 2 deals and have put 1 in pending. It's under contract and pending. So that is a tremendous return on investment just in the last 30 days. With Boomtown and Rockerbox opportunities, because Jacqueline put in the time to get organized, to make sure that she had to do scheduled so she could work her pipeline effectively and have everyone in the right category so she was focusing on the right leads on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. It's been life-changing for her. So I really like the story of the Professionals because those ladies really, they're tremendously hard workers. They're growing their team. They're expanding, bringing on more agents now. And Jacqueline's setting an example for the rest of the team.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know that you've been kind of in this role. How about now? Oh, that's still echoey. Any better?
There we go.
All right. No idea what I did. Just hit a couple buttons. So Donna, you've been in the role for about 3 months now, so you've got to see witness some of those transformations. I know that you've have a couple other great examples of, you know, the agents, like you said, it clicks, it matches, it gets on point with exactly what's expected, and it's really not rocket science. What we're coaching and training here. So, you know, what are some of the other challenges that you're helping our clients overcome every single day in these ramp-up sessions?
Well, I would say one of the biggest factors is time management. A lot of you across the country, you're having a really, you know, hot and heavy market right now. I mean, you're busy. Summer is in full force, and I'm hearing, you know, about teams shifting. You might lose an agent, lose an assistant. So resource contention is a constant challenge. So you have to be extremely efficient with your time. So we cover things like effective time blocking, utilizing that time block of an hour in the morning extremely efficiently. So that's why we are just on top of everyone about to-dos. To-dos are your roadmap for what you're doing with your time block every day. And then also proper categorization. So having your leads in the category that you know you're prospecting on a daily basis, and keeping it cleaned up. So if you're not making the connections, move them to an inactive category, and watch based on their activity. Work them on a longer term nurture approach. So time management, we're often encouraging Mojo Dialer. It's a great integration. I'm not on here to plug Mojo, but it is something that Boomtown recently rolled out in the last year, and I think anybody who is interested in working through a longer list on their database on a weekly basis, Mojo Dialer, it can just triple your productivity. So thinking about efficiencies, we talked through ways to attack that, and then also goal setting. It's very basic, but it's really around your business goals and making sure that there's a follow through and that we're looking at your return on investment. So inspecting what's happening in closed and pending and hot. Which people are in the hot category that are supposedly ready to move within the next 30 days. And are we properly, moving them into pending and closed when the deal actually does go through? So I would definitely say time management, clear expectations. We also will talk through each and every lead that is a specific example of a challenge. So it changes from client to client. You may have a day where you're talking about, a specific client example where you just weren't sure what to do with them, and we will talk through about objection handling or scripts. Or it may be a day where it's like all about sellers and low inventory in your market, and how do I go after sellers, more aggressively? So it really changes depending on what the client's needs are. But I would say the most common items are just keeping the pipeline organized and never falling off, just not letting it, build up.
Yeah, so I really love that, Donna, especially the whole bringing up, and again, you're right. These are not things that we haven't heard before. Making sure you have a time block, and making sure you have to-dos set, making sure you have your leads in the right category. And I think one of the things that folks may wonder is this sort of like a success management call? What is kind of the difference between what the RockerBox ramp-up program is and maybe other resources that are offered, out there in the market or even directly by Boomtown?
Well, as I know all of you are familiar, if you've been with Boomtown for a while, success management has evolved. And I know I alluded to the fact that I was part of the team early on when there was 20 of us, and I was actually one of the very first success managers there. We had a dedicated success manager for each and every client. And then in the last few years, we transitioned to success management teams based on the stage you're at with Boomtown. So you had a growth, achievement, and mastery stage. And then, just transitioning even more to kind of like a, first response based on what your needs are. So if it's more of an account management question, it goes into a bucket. And if it's a more advanced question related to digital marketing, you might speak with someone else. So it's evolved at Boomtown. Success management the inception of it was around making sure our clients were actively coached, that we were proactively reaching out. I think that the challenge with scaling a large client base is it's nearly impossible to offer that level of service as you're getting to thousands of customers. The nice thing about a RockerBox type of offering is you're going to have a more tight-knit community. You're going to have a smaller group, and what we're nurturing with Ramp Up is really a coaching relationship, and it is a monthly touch, proactively going in and inspecting what's happening with each of your agents' pipelines. So I'll be on a call, and there'll be 20 agents in the room, and I'll pull up one individual agent's pipeline and talk about what's going on with them, and we're interfacing. And success management at Boomtown, you didn't have the agents on the call oftentimes. So, RockerBox really recognized we recognize that the agents are the pulse and they need time with us. So we really encourage the agents being on that call. It's for them. It's their time. So we're not just meeting with the team leader or the owner.
So kind of what I'm hearing is there's really no prescriptive itinerary, but it's about the individual attention with each unique situation and helping them focus on the small adjustments that they can make in their follow-up that will equal big results. So let's get into some of the other nitty-gritty details here. I heard you, Donna, mention that it is a monthly meeting with the team. Now, why don't you kind of tell us the platform? We use Google Hangouts. Why is it that we use Google Hangouts, and what resources does that provide for our teams?
Well, I will say that just from you being on this Google Hangout, watching Sam, Josh, and I mean, it feels very different when you're in an intimate meeting over video versus a conference call. So Google Hangouts, it just gives us an easy, functional platform for us to send out a link. You're going to get a link from me before your session starts, and you literally click the link, log on. We've got video feeds. Everybody's got their own little box, and audio. So we're in there, feeling like we're in the same room, talking about business and working through challenges. And then also every single session is recorded. So, one nice functionality with Google Hangout is it feeds into YouTube. Google owns YouTube, so they just shoot that recording up to YouTube, and I'm able to share those out to you as a library of resources. So everything we cover, a lot of it's screen sharing, some of it's tutorial-esque, so you're having to go, okay, what spot did she click on here, and did she jump over there? You can always just go right back to it. I mean, I was on a call earlier today, and I did that, and they kept stopping me, and I was like, no, we're recording. You can come back and look at this again. This is here, and it will live on. So, and it's private. It's a private link for just yourself, your team, and us. It's not outposted into the wild for everyone to view. That's important for you to know, too. It's private. Really, it's just a way for us to have rapport and a real relationship, being remote from each other. So, it's the best we can deliver as far as that.
Yeah, a lot can be understood from body language and kind of a face-to-face interaction, even if the face-to-face is through the interwebs.
Yes. I know when people are nodding off or really freaking out.
All
so
right.
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I mean, it is one of these things that we find, that this is a good opportunity as well for the teams to get clear on what Rockerbox is doing and provide feedback. And I think you kind of alluded to it in that one team, saying, okay, now what were you doing? Where were you clicking? Talk to us a little bit about that. I mean, how does this also allow an opportunity for the team to address any concerns or thoughts they have with the activities that we're performing?
Yes, so naturally, it's not until you're actually in motion working leads that most of your questions pop up. So your initial calls, it's really a lot of me talking process and success habits and expectations, and then we get into your second, third, fourth session, and it's going to be a lot of just specifics. So you might have a couple of leads that you're like, what happened here on the transfer? Let's look at the notes from the call center representative and ask about the qualifying process and dig in on a specific scenario. Why did a showing request come over to me without all 4 of the qualifying questions addressed? Why did this particular lead pop up? They registered a year ago, and all of a sudden they've popped up. Was that from the data mining project initially, or something? It just never ends. So that's time that you guys can have dedicated to asking questions. If there's ever anything that we're not able to address, I'll take suggestions and ideas back to the team. It's just an open dialogue. It's a way for us to have some interfacing over something other than email.
Yeah, there's the online real estate lead theory, and then there's actually getting out there and making the phone calls and interacting with the clients and the real play. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that makes a lot of sense, Donna. Is the ramp-up session a good way to interface and it be truly a back and forth and a dialogue?
Yeah, it really is a conversation at the end.
So we've got a couple minutes left. I just have a couple more questions for you, Donna. This program sounds so wonderful, so value added. Sounds like, again, it's going to help the agents on the teams focus on the highest income producing activities and how to close more deals. So, golly, how much does this cost? This must cost a fortune, right, Donna?
Well, Rockerbox has actually brought you the Ramp Up program. I mean, it's a part of your service offering when you join on with Rockerbox, so it's included. We're not asking for an additional fee on top of that. So, if you want to explore doing more of a one-on-one accountability check-in session, that's something that we can talk about as well, just kind of on a ad hoc basis. That's something that we just recently have been beta testing, and that would be an additional fee. However, the ramp-up sessions on a monthly basis, that's fully included in your Rockerbox services.
And also, in addition to that, we just completed our Ramp Up certification course, which is a complete online training module provided by myself and Sam, where we're enrolling all the agents into that program for free, again, before they even start their ramp-up sessions with you, Donna. So there's some online education that's available to them for free before they even start engaging in those one-on-one interactions. So again, all about trying to over-deliver here at Rockerbox and make sure that our clients have all the necessary tools to generate the highest ROI. Sam, you have any other questions left for Donna?
Yeah, I was just going to say, guys, you get to see me make some great fake phone calls in those that online course, so enjoy.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sam moments.
All right, and so Donna, I think one final question that I know that I get on the sales side, because most people are super excited about Ramp Up, but there's so many great coaching and training programs out there on the market. And if somebody is with this program or that program, will Ramp Up in any way, shape, or form conflict with these other great programs out there that folks are already getting coached on in the real estate industry?
Absolutely not. I mean, in the Ramp Up session, we're looking at your Rockerbox opportunity pipeline. So that is a fraction of your total pipeline. We're really inspecting what's happening on the leads coming over from our team to you. So if you have other sources and leads that you're managing, and from a business planning standpoint, I mean, a well-rounded coach that is looking at your entire business and is meeting with you just one-on-one, I'll never be replacing that in the ramp-up capacity, the way we have it structured for the program. So I'm here to support what you have in place. If you're coaching with a specific organization, I know many of those folks myself from having spent time at Boomtown and working with their staffs in the past, and I think that the more I can support what they are teaching and holding you accountable to, the better, but it's complementary. It builds upon each other. So definitely no issues there. And again, all of the processes and procedures that Rockerbox is suggesting, we're building that based off of actually being out there implementing and seeing what the most successful teams across the country are doing, and many of those teams are coaching with other organizations as well. So just keep that in mind.
Great.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much for all the wonderful information today, Donna. Be sure to join us on our next episode where we'll actually be elaborating a little bit more on another one of these success stories. We've got Jeffrey and Mustafa from the Premier team who have been engaged with Donna on the ramp-up sessions over the last couple months and actually doubled their online business just in the last couple months. So join us for that incredible story. And anything else today, Sam or Donna?
Yeah, no, I just want to interject about Mustafa and Jeffrey from the Premier team at Pepin Realty. They really are a great story of a team within a brokerage utilizing Rockerbox Boomtown. I mean, they're really following the process, and it's just been life-changing for their business.
Great. So we'll have more educational content for you here on Rockerbox TV. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you learned a little bit more about the Rockerbox Agent Mastery Program with Unlimited Potential, Ramp Up. Thanks, Donna. Thanks, Sam.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next time.
Good seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.